Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, I've always opined on this platform many times that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. And that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing in politics just happened for the sake of it. Raila Odinga was in Namibia today for the burial of the former president. And Raila Odinga met with Jakaya Kikwete, the former Tanzanian president. I want to assure you that that encounter was designed to achieve a specific political objective. First of all, I noted two very important things during Raila Odinga's visit to Namibia. The first thing I noted was that Raila Odinga was actually accompanied by his campaign team. Let me just show you or read for you a post which Raila Odinga posted earlier in the morning, because the truth is Raila Odinga arrived in Namibia yesterday. He slept in Namibia, and I don't want to rule out the possibility that he actually met with William Ruto and Musalia Mudavadi in Namibia before William Ruto came back into the country. I don't want to rule out that possibility. I'm looking at that possibility because William Ruto came from Namibia very late in the night. But this is what Raila Odinga posted in that post. This is what Raila Odinga posted on his official Twitter handle in the morning before heading for the state funeral in Windhoek, to bid our final welfare at the state funeral of His Excellency Hage Geingob, the President of Namibia, reflecting on the enduring legacy of a leader and the significance of honoring those who have shaped our continent's collective journey. The truth of the matter is that the late president is actually one of the liberation heroes in that part of the continent. And from the photos which Raila Odinga posted there, I can see Elkanah Odembo, who is the former Kenyan ambassador to the US, who is a key player in his campaign for becoming the chair of the African Union. I can see Ambassador Mahmoud Malim. For those who might not know, Ambassador Malum Mohamed is a Kenyan diplomat. He was the executive secretary of IGAD. So you can understand why he's part of that team. Then the other guy, I don't know. I don't know him. Maybe if you know him, you can let me know. Then you can see Makau Mutua. Makau Mutua is Raila Odinga's probably legal advisor, but is currently the spokesperson. I don't know his role here, but I want to assume he's handling the legal aspect of the campaign, and having been one of the top professors in the United States of America, probably he's bringing that wealth of experience to this campaign. But it's a guy sometimes I think is normally carried away. So that's the first thing I noted, the people who accompanied him. The other thing that I also noted was the ease with which Raila Odinga was mingling with the heads of states. Who is Raila Odinga? Probably he was a VIP at that event, because you can't just access where sitting heads of state are. I mean, it's not very easy. Of course, there was heads of state who were there yesterday. Most of them were actually today. And for example, let me just read for you the post which Raila Odinga posted to I think during after the event. At Namibia's Heroes Acre, we bid a final farewell to His Excellency Hage Geingob. Delegations from around the globe gathered to honor his illustrious life and accomplishment. It's a striking reminder of the appreciation of his legacy. May he rest in peace. And if you look at the photos which Raila Odinga shared there, you can clearly see Raila Odinga talking to heads of state, mingling with them. You know, basically, Raila Odinga was given VIP treatment, talking to heads of state. And of course, probably, you know why he went there. Of course, the truth is, the Namibian president is one of Raila Odinga's close allies. If he had not passed on, probably Raila Odinga would have received his votes. But for me, what caught my attention is the encounter between Raila Odinga and Jakaya Kikwete. And that's going to form the basis of this analysis. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But before I dive in, allow me to take this opportunity to thank the following people. You are seeing their names there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on your screen. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think was the main objective of Raila Odinga's visit to Namibia? Because Raila Odinga was in Germany. Before we knew, photos of Raila Odinga in Namibia came. I placed some calls here and there, and I got credible information that Raila Odinga was in Namibia yesterday. He arrived yesterday. And that's why I don't want to rule out the possibility of Raila Odinga and his team meeting with William Ruto and probably Musalia Mudavadi and their team to figure out all these things. What was the objective? Number one, Raila Odinga, in my view, wanted to interact with those who matter as far as diplomacy is concerned. Probably not the heads of state per se, but maybe the ambassadors who matter. Because this was a serious event. A head of state had passed on. It was a state funeral. So it means all diplomats were probably here. So those are the people Raila Odinga wanted to interact with. Probably they interacted out of cameras. And of course, you can't also rule out the possibility that Raila Odinga wanted to also meet with some of these heads of states so that he could get the opportunity to express to them what he wants. That for me, I'm interested in this position. What is your thought? Can you support me? So that interaction. Number two, the fact that Namibia is part of SADC. SADC is simply mean the Southern Africa Development Community. It consists of 15 member states. So that block is very, very big. You see, according to the rotation of the African Union, it is the turn of East Africa, I think East Africa or Northern Africa. Assuming it's the turn of East Africa. If Jakaya Kikwete were to declare his bid, he's going to have an advantage because Tanzania is also a member of the SADC. And the other important thing for you to note is that the current chair of SADC is none other than the South African President Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa is a key ally of Raila Odinga. I'm sure Raila Odinga went there and the kind of treatment he received was probably because of SADC. I was talking to someone in the know and he was telling me that the reason Raila Odinga went to Namibia, because he had not really planned it, is because some heads of state really wanted him to go so that they could discuss his candidature. And I'm sure that must have been the South African President Ramaphosa. So SADC is very key. There's no way you can assume that you can win the African Union if SADC does not support you. So I think that's why he went there. Number three, Raila Odinga probably also went to mourn with his friends. Number three, Raila Odinga probably also went to gauge the mood of his candidature. You know, sometimes you can declare your interest, but the heads of state are not interested in your candidature. Your candidature is not being felt. So it's important for him to go there so that he could gauge the mood. Aone, there's a chance here. Apa, this guy is willing awaona. You know, you can always tell, for example, if you go to a place and you are not liked, you are not wanted, you can clearly tell that hapa nae, niko tu, lakini these guys don't want me. And if that was the objective, I think it became very clear based on the photos we are seeing on the interaction. I even saw some news flash on TV when Raila Odinga arrived and the people, I think the media house in Namibia focused on him as the former, they refer to him as the former president of Kenya, not the former prime minister. Yeah. And lastly, maybe Raila Odinga went there just to mourn his friend. The truth is the Namibian president is Raila Odinga's friend. But there was that interaction with Jakaya Kikwete. Do you think Raila Odinga just interacted with Jakaya Kikwete and they didn't talk? Hawakusema, boss, nataka hii What's your opinion? Do you also want it? So for me, the interaction between Raila Odinga and Jakaya Kikwete is very, very important. And therefore, for me, I want to assume that they discussed these three things. Number one, they discussed the bid. Is Raila running? Yes. Is Jakaya Kikwete running? Yes. And if both of them are running, what should they do? Can they both run, or will one of them pull out of the race? Or is it possible that the idea of Jakaya Kikwete running is not there? Very, very important. Number two, East African community candidate. There is no way East Africa can get an opportunity to front a candidate, and then two candidates comes from East Africa. It doesn't make sense. It would be better if, for example, they unite. And that's probably something they discussed there. And lastly, campaign strategy. How will they ensure that the seat is delivered to East Africa? So the strategy is, if both of them will be running, then one of them will have to pull out. But I don't think Jakaya Kikwete will be on the ballot. That was propaganda. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.